All right, welcome back to the World of Wrestling podcast. Here today to also discuss about the WWE Raw September 8th, 2025 review. Raw's episode was actually fairly decent. I actually enjoyed this show. I can't believe that's actually coming out of my mouth. Because as of late, watching Raw, I have been bored out of my fucking mind. As well as SmackDown. SmackDown last week, like I mentioned, wasn't a bad show, but it was masked with the John Cena, Sami Zayn deal. This had a lot of moving parts, a lot of good stories being told throughout that I enjoyed. I also enjoyed some of the matches that were on the show. Rusev had a really entertaining matchup. They expanded a bit more on AJ Lee and CM Punk versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. It's been made official at WrestlePalooza that will be a mixed tag team matchup. So that will be taking place. Jey Uso had a layer of a story developed last night on Raw that I thought was very, very entertaining. One of which was Jimmy saying that Jey is starting to sound a lot more like the old Roman Reigns. And he kind of gave him a dirty look, like, really, you gonna say that to me? And he's kind of like taking Roman Reigns' advice, and he's tired of trying to help everybody. And Jimmy was interested in helping LA Knight because he helped them out earlier in the night during this episode, which I'll get into. And Jey was not interested in doing anything with LA Knight. He, at one point during the first segment, was like crushed by Bronson Reed, and he thought that LA Knight, if he truly cared about Jey Uso, he could have grabbed him by the arm and pulled him out of the way so he wouldn't have been being squashed in the corner. But he didn't do either or, so his attitude was, the guy doesn't give a fuck about us. He don't give a shit about nothing. So fuck him, let's worry about ourselves, and that's it. Which, in a way, I kind of agree with Jey Uso on that one. And later on in the show, LA Knight kind of gives that impression that he doesn't want anybody's help. So, okay, fine, you're on your own. Fuck off, you know? But at the end, Jey Uso speared LA Knight after the match with Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed's been getting a lot of in-ring action and getting some W's under his belt from here and there. I mean, granted, there's been some matches that have been disqualifications and shit like that. So, I mean, it is what it is. But last night, Bronson Reed got a W in the main event with no interferences or anything like that. Thought that was very impressive. But yeah, Jey Uso speared LA Knight after they worked together to get rid of Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. And, yeah, he speared him to hell, and Jimmy was like looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing? And Jey was like, yeet. And that was pretty much how the show went off the air. But let's talk about what kickstarted the show, shall we? We had Jey Uso reuniting with his brother Jimmy. And Jey makes his entrance to a huge reception. He climbs down a flight of stairs, and his brother Jimmy Uso is standing there waiting for him. The Usos are reunited, and they lead the crowd in a yeet dance. Eventually, they did a bunch of yeeting multiple times with the music playing in the background. And finally, they start breaking into the promo. The Usos stand in the ring as the crowd chants one more time. The Usos oblige. It's an incredible visual. Yeah, Jay greets the crowd, says the Usos are now in their city, and Jay says the Vision with Seth Rollins and the Bronies have messed up. Then out comes Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, quickly interrupting them and come out to the stage. Breaker asks Jimmy Uso if he's lost. The Vision runs Monday Night Raw. The Dogs run Monday Night Raw. They have some nerve coming out to the ring after what they did to Paul Heyman. Breaker flips out, but Reed holds them back from going down the ring, and Reed says all he wants from Roman Reigns' family tonight is to acknowledge their tribal thief. An OTC chant fires up, and Reed tells Jimmy to listen to him. He was not a factor in Seth Rollins' vision on SmackDown. Now he's here on Raw. The crowd sings Roman Reigns' name, so Breaker tells them to shut up. Reed says Reigns isn't coming back because they've already dealt with him. Now they'll deal with Jimmy, who should look at his cousin who is still in the hospital. Jimmy tells them to keep quiet about the OTC. Jimmy says he knows where he's at. He's on Monday Night Raw. Jimmy is happy to be here in front of the Vision. He remembers Rollins' JJ security are the PB and J security. They are the ones. Jimmy says he doesn't like that they have the same name or that they take orders from Paul Heyman. Reed holds Breaker back, and they refer to Heyman as an orca instead of an oracle. Jay says Heyman is built like one. Reigns also referred to Heyman as a dumbass. Since Breaker and Reed want to make a name for themselves, they talk to Adam Pearce. Jimmy says at WrestlePalooza, Reed and Breaker will go against the Usos, and Jay says it's time to get jiggy right now. 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. Reed says they can't wait until WrestlePalooza. LA Knight runs out and attacks Breaker and Reed from behind, and Breaker quickly takes Knight down, driving him into the LED ring apron. The Usos hit Reed and Breaker with a stereo suicide dives, and Jay and Knight get Reed in the ring and go back and forth punching him. They then cut Breaker off and super kick him out of the ring. Knight goes for the blunt force trauma on Reed, but Reed pushes him off, nearly sending Knight into Jay, and Knight tells Jay to chill. Knight then moves, and Reed avalanches Jay. Jimmy super kicks Reed out of the ring, and Jay and Knight argue a bit in the ring following the miscommunication. So that was pretty much what took place there. The main event was going to be LA Knight and Bronson Reed. Next week, Raw will be on at 7 p.m. That's kind of interesting as to why they're doing that. I don't know why, but the pay-per-view event at WrestlePalooza will be at 7 p.m. as well next week, on next Saturday. Following that, we will, on November 10th, John Cena will appear in Boston for the final time on Raw. His final appearance in New York will be on November 17th. So, backstage interview, LA Knight and Raw GM Adam Pearce argue. Pierce walks off. Brian Saxon asks Knight what's going on. Knight says he doesn't care about the Uso family reunion. Knight wants what is his. Knight is furious that Jey Uso thinks that he sent Bronson Reed into him. If Jey wants a problem, he's not hard man to find. Knight was telling Pierce he wants any of the bronze. He doesn't care if he wins. He just wants to take a piece of them out. Next, we had AJ Styles and El Grande Americano as Kaiser is portraying El Grande Americano. This match was fair. I thought it was pretty decent. Dragon Lee helped AJ Lee get the win, or AJ Styles. This is gonna get confusing. AJ Styles. Dragon Lee helped AJ Styles get the win here with the Americano, another Americano, trying to help out the current Americano in the ring. I feel like as if we got Doink the Clown with guys portraying luchador wrestlers. It's pretty weird. But AJ Styles picks up the victory with a Styles Clash. And I thought the match was fair and pretty damn decent. Next, we had Adam Pearce tells Io Sky that Stephanie Valcour could not make it to Raw, so he has to cancel the contract signing. Nikki Bella walks up and asks about Valcour. Pearce says he doesn't see why she won't be at WrestlePalooza. Bella talks with Sky until Kabuki Warriors walk over, and Asuka dismisses Bella. Bella says she doesn't have to like her, but she has to respect her. Asuka laughs and suggests she beat the respect out of her. Bella agrees. Sky looks worried. Kairi Sane starts to apologize to Sky, but Asuka calls after her to come where she's going. Io Sky will battle Stephanie Valcour for the vacated Women's World Championship at WrestlePalooza. I think that Io Sky should win this match without a shadow of a doubt. First off, you don't even have Stephanie Valcour on television. She didn't even show up to this contract signing. I honestly think Io Sky is going to win this matchup, only to build a further story between Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. That's where I think this is going. And I think this is going to lead to Rhea Ripley becoming the World Heavyweight Champion after all this is said and done. And beat Io Sky for the title finally after all this time. That's what I think is going to happen. Surprisingly enough, on Bet Online, they got Io Sky as a underdog. I took her. She is definitely... I don't know why the odds on Stephanie Valcour continue to go up. I don't see the reasoning behind it. But Stephanie Valcour, I think, currently is a minus 500, while Io Sky is a plus 300. You bet $25 on her, you're guaranteed to win $75 plus your $25 back, so you're getting $100 in total. Not a bad deal. I would go for it. Anyway, Lyra Valkyria versus Raquel Rodriguez. One-on-one. This match was whatever. Not all that big of an important deal. And Raquel Rodriguez ends up winning the matchup with a Tijana bomb and gets the 1-2-3. So we go backstage. Penta is talking with the War Raiders before he bumps into Raw GM Adam Pearce. Penta asks Pearce why he doesn't love him. I wouldn't want another dude loving me. Pearce says he is super impressed by Penta. Penta wants a title shot against Seth Rollins. He wants a shot against Seth Rollins. What? That's what he was asking for? I thought it was for the IC Championship. Against fucking Seth Rollins. Where does he get the right to face Seth Rollins? He hasn't done shit. And he's a mid-card wrestler. And he says Penta will be champion. Rusev walks over. Pierce isn't following the plan. Rusev returns. Rusev beats Sheamus. Pierce is wasting his time with clowns. Penta gets in Rusev's face. Pierce tells them to prove it in the ring tonight, and Pierce makes the match officially. Or makes the match official. Backstage, AJ Styles tells Dragon Lee that he appreciates him having his back. Jimmy Uso walks up and greets him before walking off. Jimmy finds his brother Jey Uso getting ready to leave, and Jimmy asks where he's going. Jey says he's leaving. Jimmy says they need to help LA Knight. Jey says he's done with Knight. Knight tried to get him. What about him? What about them? Helping LA Knight won't get them to WrestlePalooza or get him the World Championship back. Jey says they need to acknowledge them or they'll smash all of them. Jimmy says Jey isn't sounding like himself. He's sounding a lot like Roman Reigns. Jey says sounding like himself might not be worth it. What the fuck? So, as you can tell through this dialogue, he is starting to develop a new character. And I think this character is going to become a heel. Thanks to the advice of Roman Reigns. Does this lead to Jey Uso becoming a world champion for a second time is my question. Because this is a different layer of Jey we've never seen. He's not playing the dumb babyface character. He could possibly still stay a babyface and just be an anti-hero type of character, which God knows we need in professional wrestling. We don't have any fucking anti-hero wrestlers. These guys are like fucking dumbass babyface retards. They do not know what the fuck they're doing. They're just, oh, I gotta help this person. I gotta save the day. Let me put my Superman suit on and be a superhero. Here I come to save the day. No, we don't need that kind of shit. That is outdated garbage. What we need is more of Stone Cold Steve Austin type characters. We need guys like The Rock type characters. We need Triple H type characters. Those were the three guys of foundations of baby faces and heels that we needed to see in professional wrestling and still need to see at this day. To this day, we still need to see wrestlers like that. I think that their wrestling, their characters now are just absolutely outdated garbage. They're vanilla, they're boring, there's nothing exciting or entertaining about them anymore. It's just bland as shit. We need substance. And the substance is where the attitude comes in. Jey Uso is displaying a lot of attitude in this episode last night. I think he was one of the most entertaining things about this show last night, outside of the CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, the AJ Lee, and Becky Lynch segment. Other than that, this was the biggest selling point of Monday Night Raw's episode last night. I think it was fantastic. And I honestly enjoyed what Jey Uso was doing here. So, I ain't got too much complaints. Anyway, AJ Lee returns to Raw for the first time in 10 years. She finally speaks. She makes her way to the ring. Fans are chanting for her, saying, "Welcome back." Lee thanks them. Lee says for those who weren't here 10 years ago and why their millennial parents were excited on Friday, she wants to introduce herself. Her name is AJ Lee, and she is your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. Meaning the wrestlers that they know today were beloved AJ Lee's work as well. So there you go. AJ Lee, chance start to pick up. 10 years ago, she retired. She felt like she had accomplished all of her dreams in wrestling. She was content and hung up her Chuck Taylors. She thought it was the end of her story. She never entered the ring wearing jean shorts that were two sizes too small. So she went on a journey to accomplish all the crazy dreams she had in life. She did that. Most importantly, she went on a mental health journey. She wasn't healthy. She took care of herself and got it right. Lee went to therapy and got treatment. A therapy chant picks up. Lee says she found a way to turn the mental chaos into a superpower. The fight isn't easy. If you're going through the same thing, the fight is worth it. You are worth it. And blah, blah, blah. So she continues on. Lee says she was doing really good for a long time. Then she watched Monday Night Raw. Healing isn't linear. It's one thing to see your husband fighting Drew McIntyre, John Cena, or Seth Rollins. It's another thing entirely to see him in the ring with Becky Lynch. She wanted to like Becky Lynch. Lynch is a leader and a rebel, as well as a New York Times best-selling author like she is. Lee says she did it first. There's a world in which they could have been friends. Then she went and motorboated her husband. She put her hands on him, berated him, and defamed him. Then Becky Lynch heads to the ring. Lynch is dressed in red and wearing some extra sunglasses. Lee happily waves at her, and the crowd loudly boos Lynch. Lynch reacts to the crowd a lot during this entire segment. Really a lot of interaction by her during this segment with the fans in the front row by where she was standing through the rampway. They were talking some shit, and she got up in their face and started talking some shit back, which was surprising, to be quite frank. And it went back and forth and pretty much led to the point where she was upset that AJ Lee has the IC championship in her possession when she's not truly the champion, and she wanted the title back. So AJ Lee laid down the title and said, okay, how about this? You can either get in the ring and take it from me and I'll beat your ass, or I'll hand it over to you peacefully if you accept this challenge that I'm about to give to you. Well, Seth Rollins came down. He pretty much interrupted the whole entire segment and stated that this is not how things work on Monday Night Raw. I don't know what you think how things work here, but things have changed over the last 10 years. And he said, I'm going to get in that ring and I'm going to take that IC championship and give it back to Becky Lynch. And he got in the ring, and every time he tried to get closer to the title, AJ Lee would cut him off and stand right in front of him. Of course, this being the day and age where men cannot touch women, but women can touch men type shit exists, I think him attacking AJ Lee would have made him a bigger villain, but of course, public media and public relations would not give this a very positive outlook, so of course they couldn't do that. But we're going to have a mixed tag team match, which this all led to that being the case for WrestlePalooza. So he tried to go ahead and do something. He couldn't. And then CM Punk showed up from behind of Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch freaked out. She was like, oh shit. CM Punk got in the ring, tried to do the GTS, and did not succeed. He managed to counter, get out of the ring as quickly as possible. This led to Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch agreeing to the match. The match is on. It's going to happen. And AJ Lee threw the title at Becky Lynch. They got the championship back. And now this match is official for WrestlePalooza on Saturday, September 20th of next week. I thought this was executed as planned. It's the correct way to go. It was the best, the championship being the way of convincing them to take the match was the best way to do it. I think this was a fantastic move in a creative standpoint, making logical sense as to why Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins would even accept a mixed tag team match to begin with. So this makes a lot of sense. I don't know if the championships are going to be on the line in this matchup. I highly doubt they will be. If they put the titles on the line, I think then it will be too predictable. So I think this match should be a non-title match, because that could still leave the possibility of CM Punk winning the match without having to beat Seth Rollins for the World Championship just yet. I think that match is going to be saved for WrestleMania. I think CM Punk's winning the Royal Rumble possibly, or winning the Elimination Chamber. I think they might save the Royal Rumble for Sami Zayn, since it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. So that might be the case there. But I do believe, most importantly, I believe that Sami Zayn is going to become a world champion. I just don't think it's going to be on the Raw brand. I think we are going to see Sami Zayn win the Royal Rumble and then face Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. I think that is what we're getting. And I think we're getting CM Punk and Seth Rollins for the World Championship on Monday Night Raw for WrestleMania of next year. I think Punk's winning the Elimination Chamber match, and Sami Zayn's going to win the Royal Rumble itself. Maybe CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble match and Sami wins the Elimination Chamber, but I don't see why they would want to do that when they're going to be in the hometown of Sami Zayn's own country in the first place. So I think Sami's going to win the Royal Rumble, Punk's going to win the Elimination Chamber, and that's going to be that, pretty much. So let's move on from there. Next, we get Penta versus Rusev one-on-one. This was a good matchup. Rusev actually made Shawn Michaels proud. He gave him a super kick. It's called the Mashka kick. But this kick, he fucking connected in midair on Penta, was fucking fantastic. Super nice. And he wins this match outright. I thought this was a good matchup between these two. Solid work by both men. Also, there was interference by Grayson Waller and the New Day as well, so I don't know how you kind of look at that. Big Bronson Reed's preparing for Braun with Braun Breaker, and Reed will battle LA Knight later in the night. LA Knight's warming up when Jimmy Uso walks in. Jimmy wants to confirm that tonight was an accident. Knight says he accidentally hit Jay because he didn't move. Knight isn't interested in Jimmy's help. Jay cost him the world title. He'll do this himself. So, that's pretty much the whole situation there. Nikki Bella went up against Asuka. Asuka wins by submission and forces her to tap out. So, I didn't think much of the match. I thought it was okay, I guess. So, we move on to the Judgment Day Clubhouse. The Judgment Day is celebrating beating Lyra Valkyria. The IC champion Dominic Mysterio walks in. Finn Balor says he thought Mysterio was gone, talking to El Grande Americano. Baylor says they're in the dark with Americano. They want to know what they're getting into. Mysterio says he was just trying to help. It's a lucha thing. And maybe he wouldn't need help if they hadn't been banned last week. Roxanne Perez suggests that she goes talk to him. In the arena, LA Knight makes his entrance to a huge pop. He'll face Big Bronson Reed next after this commercial break. Come back, we have a furious Nikki Bella walking backstage when the Kabuki Warriors walk up. Asuka says that's exactly what will happen to Stephanie Vacour. Bella gets in her face and shoves Asuka. Rhea Ripley walks over to a big reaction. Ripley asks if there's a problem. Asuka says she's in the top woman. Asuka says she is the top woman in WWE. Ripley says it's Io Sky going for the Women's World Championship. Asuka shakes that off and walks off. Kairi Sane looks nervous before Asuka growls after her. Next we have LA Knight, Big Bronson Reed, the main event of the evening. This match was not bad. I think this was a fairly decent main event. A little bit different than what we're normally used to. Usually these ends up being a fucking disqualification. And it doesn't. It ends with a finish alongside the fact of Jey Uso spearing LA Knight after the Babyfaces rise to the occasion and even out the odds to get the advantage to end the show, and then Jey spears LA Knight to close the show out, with everybody kind of going, what the hell did I just watch? So there was a cliffhanger here. I think this was excellent. I think this was a very smart move by WWE, and it's leaving a layers of questioning as to what is going on with Jey Uso. Is he becoming a heel, or is he just evolving into a different type of babyface? Because we still see Jey Uso interested in kicking the heels' asses. Now, the interesting thing would be is he turns on his brother and goes with the Vision. Now, that part is interesting, but how do you make sense of it is my question. I don't know how you would make sense of it. So, it's a little weird. I don't know. And him becoming a heel just completely on his own? After he's getting help from Jimmy Uso? Like, his brother? Like, what the fuck? That makes no sense either. So, there's some questions on where the character development is going with with Jey Uso, now that he's not interested in helping other babyfaces. Are we just seeing a different babyface version of Jey Uso? Or is this a turn on Jey Uso at the end of the day in this story that we're trying to tell? That's the question I have. So I'm not sure where this is going, but it looks interesting, and hopefully they do a good job trying to close out the story and move on with the character development of Jey Uso. So that was pretty much your Raw review. I think Raw was a fairly decent and fair show to sit through and watch. I actually enjoyed it better sitting and watching it on a replay because I didn't have to sit through commercials. I really enjoyed that. Maybe that's the reason why wrestling shows kind of suck. Because there's so many damn commercials. But that could be up for debate. Anyway, guys, at this time, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching. And have a great night, guys. Bye.